got big Parabolica.
Hi guys, so yeah, hey, we got Dr. Robot and Havoc here, and we're just about to start the race in Gran Turismo Sport. It's OFR Division 1 round 7, and we're here at Willow Springs today. We've got 36 laps in these Group 3 cars. It's going to be a good one, right?
I think so. I mean, Willow Springs is one of those very, very old, very traditional tracks. I mean, you can go all the way back to the Shelby days when Carroll Shelby was racing here. Huge track, that almost the start of beginning drivers to go up to the Le Mans series. But yeah, it's more nostalgia than anything, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun. Now, there's still quite a lot to play for here in Division 1 in GTS as well. Just looking at the driver standings, it's Racer Tay leading, 130 points compared to Iceman Kimi's 93, so there's a bit of a gap there. But if you look at third place, which is Lika, all the way down to AJ in 8th place, there's only 19 points between them. Team standings, Spinorama is currently leading by just over 50 points. They've got 51 point advantage, but again, a bit further down, we've got some closer battles between Bok and Calls, Raven West, for example. There's still a lot to go, but it looks like Spinorama may have wrapped up the team standings unless Tag Heuer Phoenix Race Lab can do something here today. Tag Heuer need a 1-2-3 if they're going to be able to challenge Spinorama for the rest of the season.
They're definitely capable of doing it, Robot. Just another thing to go back to the standings. I want to look at Racer Tay's last, I don't know, what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to say 5 races. Look at his last 5 races. 26 points, 25 points, 26 points, 19 points, 26 points.
He's on fire.
I mean,
he's on fire.
Yeah, he's in the zone, basically. And we're coming into Willow Springs here we go for the start, but I think you're right. Tag Hour needs a 1-2-3 to close it out.
They definitely do. That will take away 25, 15, and 18 points. I can't bother to do the math right now, but that's over 40 points that they'll take out of Spinorama's lead if they can get that, and they've got it all to do here. So we are starting. We're just waiting for the lights to start now. We've got the race info up, so we're going to ride on board with Jan the man. We'll switch to his onboard just to see how he gets away. Platypus in first, starting on the right hand side racing line, left hand up ahead at turn 1. Let's see how they pull away, and that's all the lights gone, and we are away. Doesn't look like anyone got stuck on the grid actually, and we've got a few people moving up as well. Now it looks like Jan is already looking to make a move down the inside into turn 1. Vilsek in P3 has made a move on Ash already, I think, as well. We've got one driver going wide. That's Platypus off the road already. Jan's currently leading with Vilsek right behind him now. These two got into a bit of a ruckus last week in Monza. We had Jan punt Vilsek off the road, and you got a 2-place grid penalty in the end. I reckon there's still a bit of drama between these two, as Vilsek's already trying to switch back and fight back in Jan and disrupt his race. This is going to be a great one.
It is. Vilsek knows what's at stake here. Jan definitely knows what's at stake. Still in the Porsche, but look who's behind Vilsek. Look at the 3, 4, 5 slot.
Oh, it's again the Rod and Pollock's Caterpillar, however they like to call it. There's all 3 of them in those bright orange and black livery cars, doing a pretty decent job fending off the guys behind and not letting Vilsek go too far ahead either. They're currently only a 5/10 gap between Vilsek and Ash. Ash has got some pace around here.
He does. He did put in a fastest lap on the practice session right before the race starts. So here we go. Right before the end of the first lap, we're going to see Vilsek go for it, I think, Robot.
Let's ride on board with him and see. He's gone around the outside and he's actually moved up to the position. So after lap 1, he's just across the line there. He's set the fastest lap at 1:18.5. He's got about 7 seconds to make up, but he is currently leading. Jan has dropped back 3/10 already, and Vilsek might just pull away here. Now, one of the guys I want to look at is Racer Tay. Started right at the back here today, and he's already up to 5th place. He's got Harley and the other 2 Rod and Pollock's fishing cars ahead of him right now, but Racer Tay's quick. You know he's about a second quicker a lap than a lot of these guys, so he's going to make quick work of these.
He is, and then the other guy from Spinorama, Lika's got to get the car up there today. He's got to get some points if they want to pull away from Tag Hour and make a solid stand here. Lika has got to get up into the top 5. It looks like Tay's going to be able to do it here in the starting laps in the first stint as he's going up against Harley right now. And then, yeah, Vilsek is pulling away.
He is. I'm really surprised by Racer Tay's speed advantage here. He's completely off the racing line. He's swerving left and right. He's increasing his track distance, and yet he's still managed to perform an overtake down the inside as they go through turn 8, the penultimate corner here. He's got some phenomenal pace. He outranks a lot of these drivers here. Now, his main competitor, Iceman Kimi, started second to last, I believe. He's only managed to get up to 8th so far. He's still got a long way to go. He's got a rival Lika to pass as well. That's a Spinorama car right in front of him, and Racer Tay, every lap, every corner, he's just pulling away.
He is. He's now got Jan in front. Expect to see a big battle from these two. We're going to see a battle from Tay and Jan. Jan is not going to make it easy, and Jan's got Ash right on the front bumper. We'll have to keep an eye on them and make sure they stay clean here. What about the track, Robot? A very interesting track. 9 turns, as you said, penultimate in 8. We've got 3 Parabolicas in total. That's going to be turn 2, turn 4, and turn 8. So it's kind of a weird setup.
It is. It's a really weird setup. It looks like someone's just got a piece of spaghetti and plopped it on the floor, and that's what's come out. We've got a lot of right lefts and left rights. We've got a really long, almost parabolica turn at the end and at the start as well. Look at turn 2, a really long right-hander that I believe you only have to lift for, and then turn 8 and 9, it starts off full speed, but you do have to tuck it in right at the end of turn 9. But this is a track where overtaking is definitely possible. It's wheel-to-wheel racing, and we've seen a lot of it already.
It is, and here comes Jan, Robot, still on the back of Ash. I think all this is doing, though, is letting Vilsek take off.
It is. If you look at the gap, it's currently just over a second. It is coming down a little bit as Ash and Jan are fighting. We've got Jan still behind Ash, but if you jump all the way down to 12th place right at the back right now, Castle only 3/10 behind BJ Robbo, who in turn is only 1/10 behind Platypus. Big battle going on at the back here for that final point in the race so far, but we're only on lap 4. We've got 32 laps to go. This is going to be an interesting race.
Yeah, what about the stops here, Robot? What's the strategy that we're looking at? We know the guys are on the softs. It looks like they're all on the softs. Castle's got some front-end damage here. He's got the front bumper flashing. He's also got both front tires flashing. nowhere. It just looks like he's got some damage. His Platypus is
Yeah,
off.
watched it. Platypus, is that the same? No, it's not the same corner as last time. He did go off at turn 2, I believe, or turn 1 right at the start, but he's having a tough time right now. Stops, 3 stops, I think, the most likely. We're going to see them stop lap 9, 18, 27. 4 stops also possible as well, though, if you want to stop a little bit earlier around lap 7 or 8. You could do a 2-stop if you go all the way to lap 12, but could we see a medium stint? We definitely have Platypus on the mediums, as you can already see, so he might be going for this kind of 2-stop strategy. If you switch to Bagpuss, he's another one of these drivers that always likes to go long. He's on the medium tyre as well, so we're going to have to wait till around lap 7 or 8 to see what these guys are doing, but we could see some go all the way to lap 12, 13.
Yeah, I think you're right, Robot. Not the same as Formula 1. You don't have to change the 2 different compounds here in Gran Turismo in the Group 3 cars, but it does make a difference in the strategy. If you go to a different compound, you definitely get an extra lap or 2 out of it, so we'll have to see what they do.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to the guys in the stream as well. We've got Rod and Pollux Fishing joining us, Smalley, Show, Fifi. Just to let you guys know, I have already dropped one of the clues. Another one will come on lap 10. You need to be listening carefully or you won't get it. Anyway, we're back to racing. So those guys who don't know, we've currently got a little of a treasure hunt or scavenger hunt going on in our Discord server, where you have to run a few commands with our bot Gwendolyn to win the grand prize of a PSN voucher. We've already given one of the clues away this stream. One was done yesterday as well, but there will be more coming, so make sure you stay tuned. Now, who's the closest on track right now?
It looks like Yan and Ash. Yan is still on the back of Ash here. Robot, it just doesn't look like he's got the pace to get around him, though.
It's really surprising as well. We don't normally see Ash in that top 3 mix. He's usually somewhere around P5, P6 when he's racing. When he's commentating, he's usually in the social media corner. But he's doing a really decent job keeping Yan behind. I did not expect that Porsche to be struggling so much in terms of pace. And just to emphasize the pace of the Porsche, go down to 6th place Iceman Kimi. He's still catching Harley by about 1/10 a corner, but he's not able to get past as quick as Racer Tay was. And Racer Tay's now coming up to the back of Yan, another rival. He's only 1.1 seconds behind, and he's gaining. So Yan's going to be in trouble here as one of the drivers go wide. Is that Yan? I think it was. Oh, Yan's gone deep. He's been reset to track, and he's...
They're going to have to be careful here as they come around. No telling when he unghosts.
He's unghosted now.
Harley's going to go by. Iceman's going to go by. Leak is going to come up right to the back bumper.
Interesting, interesting. So this has just brought a new rivalry battle to the midfield here. We thought that Yan and Iceman were going to run away from Leaker, but now Yan is only 3/10 ahead of Leaker as they go through turn 6, coming up to turns 8 and 9. Yan could be in trouble here. Doesn't look like he's got any damage on his car or anything like that, but, well... Leaker's looking.
Yeah, no damage. The tires are definitely going to be lit up here, though. As we take a look at Leaker's tire wear as opposed to Yan's tire wear, the left side is totally worn out. That could be a tag hour setup issue. I'm not sure. But if you look at the Mercedes have got a little bit less tire wear. Like if you look at Leaka, if you look at Racer Tay, well, not Racer Tay. Racer Tay always has tire wear. He's pushing the car all the time. Vilsec, not as much tire wear as the tag hour guys, but still running away. He's almost a 2-second gap on P2.
I'm really surprised now you've told me, looking at Racer Tay's tyres, they are way more worn than anyone else's. Now, Vilsec's also started on the softs as well. His tyres are about, I would say 20% on the lefts. Racer Tay's are looking at about 30 to 40% on the lefts. He's putting some wear into those. He needs to be careful. If he's looking at
it's weird. Go ahead. I mean, I just think it's weird that he's picking up more wear. I mean, it could definitely be that he's pushing the car more, but with pushing the car more, you would think that he would be up there battling for first place.
Yeah, I think so. Now, Racer Tay's going to have to pit soon, and if he does pit soon, he's got 2 laps left before he wants to commit to a 3-stopper. But if he pits earlier, he could be one of these drivers that's on a 4-stop strategy here. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Rod and Pollux Fishing has said that they've tried a brand new, totally different setup than they usually have around GTS, and it seems to be working for them. Well, yes, it does, with Ash Wilson currently leading Racer Tay and pulling away. He's not got too bad tyre wear either. It's still less than Racer Tay's, but just a little bit more than Vilsec. But that setup is working for them. Good to see.
Yeah, it's good to see the guys working on setups here, and it's good to have Rod and Pollux up there in P2. Vilsec, 2.9 seconds, Robot. He gained 9/10 on that last lap. He's going to lose a little bit in the S's, or in the first chicane here, but as he comes through 6 and 7, I don't know, the gap kind of just increases and he takes off.
He does. I've jumped back down to Grim, who's currently 3/10 behind Castle in last place. Something must have happened to Grim, because let's not forget he was running up in 5th place at one point, and he's now down in 12th. He hasn't pitted yet. He's still got about 33 to 40% worn left tyre, so he hasn't pitted. But he is pressuring Castle a fair bit, and ahead of Castle is none other than the Bokken cause of Platypus. And there, I mean, he's going to be struggling soon too, because he's been off the road twice already. He's on the medium tyre, and we can see Castle trying to make a move on him as he goes through that little kink in the road there at turn 7. They're coming up to turn 8 now. Castle's got a huge toe. He's tucked in behind him again just to gain advantage of that slipstream just for those few extra seconds, but Platypus is managing to get round. That's one thing we always see. That Volkswagen Beetle can just stick to this track, and Castle has hit the back of Platypus, I think, and he's now got flashing front bumper and both wheel assembly damage here. He's in trouble.
Yeah, he's had it from the start there, Robot. I don't know if it's going to make it worse or not. Who is that?
Someone's
that's
just
ghosted? I
pits.
believe it was BJ.
Oh, was it BJ? I thought... No, BJ's just pitted. He's just come out of the pits. So that's BJ.
Well, and then that's the other thing, Robot. You get off the track here at Willow Springs, it is not a very easy-going track limit if you go off. If you go off here, expect to take at least 100 meters of dirt with you, because you're not getting back on anytime soon.
Yeah, you're right. And there's a lot of humps and bumps and ramps and jumps in this track. If you go off at high speed, you can flip your car around. That's how dangerous the off-circuit is here. And Castle's just gone a little bit wide there as he's
They're
going
in
through.
pit. Ash is in the pit.
Oh, Ash is pitted. Interesting. He's come out on softs, and where's he come out? He's come out in P3.
On P3.
Ah, Vilsek's pitted and Racer Tay's pitted too, so Ash has actually lost the position to Racer Tay ahead of him. Iceman's come out in 4th place currently. Jan, has he pitted as well? No, Jan stayed out for another lap. He did this last week in Monza, and I don't think it helped him out too much trying to do the overcut, because his tyres are just...
He could be going.
Yeah, but look at his softs. His lefts are at 50% now. His tyres are too worn. They're way too worn.
Yeah, not looking good. He's got Lika behind. You can definitely see the delta dropping. I mean, Lika's just pounding tenths of a second into that time.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be long. Did Lika pit?
I'm looking at his tyres right now. He did. Lika's also pitting as well. And he's
Yeah.
only 2.4 seconds behind Jan. So that's Jan's mistake. Remember when he went off the road and reset? And he stayed out. Lika's managed to pit and come out 2.2 seconds behind. Jan's going to lose around 11 seconds in the pit. Jan's currently coming out in 9th place. He's in trouble.
Not good. So maybe committed to a two-stop here, Robot.
Maybe. We just got notification from Fifi that he's looking for another clue. The next clue, Fifi, would be, what would you get if you combined Italy and Tag Her? That's the next question. So, Havoc, since you've driven both the AMG and the Porsche, the biggest rivals in D1 right now, how would you compare both cars?
It's basically comes down to handling, Robot. It's definitely a handling difference when it comes down to both cars. The Porsche, I want to say, is a better handling car. You get more all around because it's a mid-engine rear-wheel drive car. The Mercedes is more heavier in the front, way more heavier. Front-engine car, rear-wheel drive, a little bit harder to get it in. You can still pick up a lot of paces. We see Vilsek and Racer Tay just taking off, but it's just a better handling car if you can get the setup right.
Right, so in terms of Willow Springs, however, though, because there are some long straights, there are some long and fast corners too, but there's also really intricate parts of this track, like Lika's going through right now around turns 4 and 5, where you have to get on the brakes early and send it. Which car is going to be an advantage from this circuit overall?
I kind of like the AMG because of the torque. I did actually drive the Porsche around last night just as a practice gig, just to kind of see what the enemies got going on. We always do that, the drivers, the good drivers. Not to say that I am, but we kind of just want to see what the other guys have got going on and see what they're doing. But it's definitely the AMG. When you're coming out of turns like turn 4, the torque that the AMG has got coming out of a corner, if you've got the setup just right, is not a bad car. I love the AMG. It's a very torquey car. It gets you out of those slow corners and gets you out very quickly.
Got it. And the Lexus of the Rod and Pollux fishing car as well looks like they have really tuned this setup perfectly for this track, because They've got less tyre wear than both the AMGs in front of them, and he is not allowing Racer Tay to get away, and he's actually closing the gap down on him. It was just 1.2 seconds 2 corners ago, and it's below 1.2 right now. Something has happened in that Lexus that has allowed them to challenge for a podium spot here. It's really fantastic. I've never seen Ash perform so well here. There was one track in Tokyo, I think it was the Outer Expressway or something last season, where we saw Ash do an absolutely phenomenal job, where he was really in the zone, and it looks like he's nailed it here today as he slightly goes wide as we give him the commentator's curse, but he's back on track. But that car's looking good.
Yeah, it is looking very good. The Lexus is more of a plug-and-play car. It's a very good handling car, good on fuel mileage, good on tire wear. It's an all-around good car. But to find the pace, you have to have a setup.
Yeah, and Racer Tay just went super deep at turn 2. Entry into turn 2, he went wide, but he's managed to get back on the track. But again, look at his tyre wear. He's almost doubled that of Vilsek ahead and Ash behind. And now Ash is only 3/10 behind him. Ash is going to try and pounce here. Racer Tay's sliding through turns 4 there. He looks like he's struggling with the car a bit.
He's got a lot of understeer here, Robot. That's going to be... Oh, what happened to Vilsek? Vilsek's off. Here comes Tay. Ash is going to go by as well.
Let's watch the replay.
It looks like Vilsek got a little wide.
Right, I'm switching to the replay now. Let's see what happened. So, he was going through turn 3. He looks fine through there. He makes it through turn 4 okay as well. And he just out... Oh, he goes on the throttle too early. He goes out at turn 4. Rejoins after turn 4. Thankfully, he didn't spin his car. But that has allowed Racer Tay and Ash to jump back on track ahead of him. So, Vilsek was leading every lap of this race. Is now finding himself in 3rd place, with a Rodden Pollock's fishing cart sandwiched in between.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to hurt him too bad since he saved the car, Robot. He saved it. He's going to be able to build it back and come back and get comfortable with it again. Not too bad, unless there's something going on with the car that he's just not liking, but he looked good before, so we'll have to keep an eye on him. He is dropping the delta on the 2nd place car of Ash Wilson, so he's going to come back.
Yeah, he is. 7/10 behind right now. He's still got Iceman Kimi covered by 5.7 seconds, though. And Jan, who's finally pitted 2 laps ago, I believe, has come out in 7th place. So he did manage to clear BJ Robbo by a good few seconds, which is good for Jan because he's got some, he's got some clean air in front of him. 5.6
here come the guys,
seconds.
Robot. We do have back markers. Platypus and the 1, 2, 3 cars are going to come and go by the back marker with no ease at all. I mean, Willow Springs is one of those tracks. It's a little wide. It is hard to pass in some places, but, I mean, it's a wide track. You can get around cars if you have to.
You can, but I think one of the problems is that if you do attempt to go around the outside on the dirty part of the track, 1 inch of your wheel on that gravel on the outside. Because, oh, there you go. Iceman just touches it.
Sorry to interrupt here.
Go ahead.
Robot, here comes Ash on the outside of turn 1. He's going to try to go around Tay. They touch.
Oh, and Ash is off.
And, oh, no, Tay's off as well.
Oh, so
here comes Vilsek.
I think Tay managed to get back on track just in time. I am going to watch the replay of that, though, to see who was at fault. Tell you what, we'll jump to it now and go with the onboard of Ash. So Ash is going around the outside here. He's got the line into turn 1. Oh, and I think that was a racing incident. Both of them really close together, out-braking themselves into the corner, and Ash has been pushed wide. He has come out in 3rd place, though, but did Iceman Kimi jump him too? Let's hope not.
It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it, no. Robot. He is close. They've got a back marker in between the two, so Ash is going to bounce back as well. Oh, no. Is that Platypus off?
Again? Oh, no. It is. It's Platypus. He's spun. He's in 12th place right now, and he's spun at
He may be way off.
He's getting back onto the track now. He's come off on the right-hand side, but he's got 2 cars about to pass him. He better wait for them to go. Yes, he knows they're there. That's good. And he's let them pass. Well done. That's good returning to track there. But yeah, unfortunate for Platypus. It doesn't look like he's in the zone right now.
Yeah, we call that the Shadow Realm, Robot. You get out there that far, that's what we call that. And here comes Vilsek. Vilsek's going to try the same move in turn 1 on the outside of Tay, and he's going to have to let off. He lets off, he's going to try to switch back, but I don't think he's got enough to do it. He's going to have to wait.
Yeah, but again, look at Racer Tay's tyre wear. He's already down to 50% on that front left. Vilsek's at about 20. What is Racer Tay doing to his tyres? Surely they should be using the same setup.
You gotta think that team orders are starting to come into play here. Is Tay going to let him by, or do you think Vilsack's going to have to fight for it?
Well, I think Spinorama find themselves in a really comfortable position right now where they're leading by 51 points or something like that. We saw the same thing in Japan earlier this year where they were racing each other hard and they just let them race, which is really nice to see. We hate seeing team orders. We don't like seeing it when it's not necessary. And right now, I just don't think it's necessary. Both Vilsack and Racer Tay want a win. And if Vilsack can fight for it, then let them fight, I say.
Exactly right. I agree 100%. And Ash, after the incident in turn 1 and 2, about 2 seconds behind. I mean, he's starting to come back. It's a little bit harder when you don't have the slipstream. When you fall out of that slipstream in GTS, here comes the 1 and 2. 1 and 2 are in the pits. Spinorama guys in the pits at lap 16. Ash stayed out. Iceman stayed out. Tag hour on that long strategy.
And where's Lika? Is Lika going to pit as well? Are they all on the same strategy in Spinorama? Let's have a look. Lika is moving to the left-hand side. Lika's in. Lika, they pit on lap 8, I believe, and they're coming in at lap 16. That means they're committing to that 3-stopper. The last stop's going to be 24, and they're going to try and go to the end on 12-lap old tyres. If not, it's going to be a 4-stopper for them. That's interesting. That's really interesting.
Sounds about right. Sounds about right, Robot. And here we go. Iceman's off. P2 Iceman is off. Same part of the track. It's just a tricky part, it looks like.
Yeah, it's in the outside of the track here is so unforgiving that it slows you down so much and it absolutely destroys your tyres. But Iceman's fuel is less than a lap, so he's going to pit, and this overcut from him is not going to work because he's come off and he's slowed him down by about 4.8 seconds. So that means that he's going to get jumped by possibly Harley behind him too.
Yeah, so Racer Tay and Vilsack are going to come back to 2 and 3. Ash is going to have to pit. That's going to give them provisional 1 and 2.
Ash has stayed out for another lap. He's just gone straight past the pit lane.
Oh.
Iceman Kimmy's in.
And this is Rodden Pollux, yeah?
So, yeah, they're going to be leading for a few laps. But I wonder, his fuel is starting to flash, so he's just got over 1 lap of fuel left, so he will definitely have to come in this lap. But if you look at the tyres, they're about as worn as Racer Tay's were about 4 laps ago, so they're doing pretty good on tyre management too, even though he went off-road and caught up all that gravel. Let's not forget that. So he's doing a decent job, a very, very decent job. And he's got a 13-second lead over Racer Tay right now as well. So he's doing everything he needs to maintain this lead, but with that extra fuel he's going to have to put in on his next stop, he may get jumped by Racer Tay and Vilsack again. We'll have to wait and see.
It might be. I think it's going to be close. I think the pit stop timing is a little bit different here in GTS as Platypus is off again. Here come 2 and 3. Vilsack getting around fairly clean, not too bad. Platypus, one of those tight parts of the tracks, but he did the right thing. He pulled over to the side. He let the guys go. Very respectful there. But I think you're right, Robot. He's going to come in now, lap 18.
Let's see where he comes out.
Let's see where Tay and Vilsack are.
I'm switching to Racer Tay now. He's just come round turn 9. He's going past the pit entry now. Ash Wilson is out. Is he out? He's out now. And he's going to come out side by side, but Racer Tay's going to have that speed. Can he get ahead in front of Vilsack? Yes!
Oh, he has right in front of Vilsack!
He split the Mercedes. He has split the Mercedes. He did everything he needed to do on that extra lap. The overcut worked. Well done, Ash Wilson.
What an aggressive move from Ash there, Robot, but I love it. I'm loving it.
They're doing such a good job. Now, another thing I want to quickly bring your attention to, Lika has currently got flashing rear bumper damage. Castle has got flashing front bumper damage. Castle coming in this lap. I reckon these two got into a little bit of a tangle as Castle stays out for another lap. Castle might actually run out of fuel here. He needs to be careful because he's currently running on empty.
And he's off again.
He's struggling. His tyres are very worn. Castle is one of these drivers that doesn't... He's basically like Racer Tay. His tyre wear is always a lot more serious than the other drivers. And that's going to affect him, especially around this track where there are no curbs. There's only track and gravel, and that's it. One little mistake and you're losing time. But I reckon those two got into a bit of contact with each other, and that's why they've both got opposite ends of the car.
Let me bring your attention up to P1, P2 here, Robot. Ash just 3/10 behind. Here they come on the front stretch. He was very close. He gets off a little bit there. I think it's going to mess him up for the move in turn 1.
It could do. They're just... Where are they? They're coming up to turn 1. They break at about the 100... Well, 75 meter board there. Ash is actually closing him down. He is actually gaining on him. I mean, it is a bit of help with the slipstream, but still, I'm so amazed to see Ash doing so well.
Again. I mean, he did pit, I think, 2 laps after Spinorama pit, but He's right there. He's ready to make a move. He's on the inside right now.
Let's see if he can do it. No, he's not doing it yet. He knows he would have understeered into him if he got off the brake a little bit too early there, so he's playing it safe. Good job. Let's keep this great racing up. And Vilsek behind is not managing to keep up as close to Ash as Ash is to Racer Tay. Bit of a tongue twister there. But it is lap 20.
But this is something that Tay has not experienced in the past 5 races. Is pressure robot.
That is a fair point. He's always just run away with the lead, hasn't he? Gaining about a second a lap. Today, no way.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why his tyre wears a little bit more than someone else. Maybe he's doing a lot of work defending hard.
That could be it. Here he comes, robot. Down the front stretch. Here comes Ash on the outside, setting up for an outside move into turn 1. Is he going to get it done? They're going to go side by side in turn 1 again.
Oh, Ash has got a little bit deep again, but Ash has got him! He's got the overtake done! Bravo, Ash. What a move there. And he's in the lead. Rod and Pollux are yet again leading this race.
Let's go, boys. Take off, Ash. Good to see it happen. Vilsek's going to have to do something here. He's still there. He's there. I think they're taking it a little easy, but it might be a pit strategy call where they know they're going to have Ash in the end. I'm not sure. I haven't done the math. I can't do that math in my head with this long in the race to go, but, I mean, Ash, what a move. Turn 1, not seen him so aggressive all season.
Yeah. Santi in the chat saying that was beautiful. It definitely was. Now, it's lap 21, so you do get another clue. So the last one was, what do you get if you combine Tag Her, Phoenix Race Lab, and Italy? The next one is going to be add a television to that mix as well. Now, back to the race. We are going to jump down to 8th place to see what's going on with BJ Robbo right now. He's currently reserving for one of his teammates in that Raven West car. He's a D2 driver in Corvo West normally, but he is in Raven West today. I'm not sure who he's reserving for. Oh, he's reserving for Astro, of course, who can't make it today. But he's doing a pretty decent job. He's going to be collecting 4 points for his team, which is very nice. And there's a bit of a battle. Is that still the first place battle? Yes, it is. So Ash has actually pulled away 5/10 from Racer Tay now. The gap is now 7/10. And Vilsek behind is not closing Racer Tay down. It's staying around the same 7/10 region as it was last lap and the lap before. So Ash is in a nice position here. And let's not forget, he's got 1 extra lap of wear on his tyres. Oh, sorry, 1 extra lap to go on his tyres because he did pit a lap later. So he's in a very comfortable position right now.
That's right. Tay's just going to... As the race goes on, Tay's going to get the better feeling of the track. He's going to know what he needs to do. And that could be what we're seeing here. We're in lap 22. He could be in that zone where now he knows what the track is doing with the car. Or, I'm sorry, the opposite. He knows what the car is doing with the track, and he knows how to operate the track better than at the start of the race. That's what it looked like to me, Robot, is he just didn't know the track that well. But as we get further into the race, he's starting to pick up on it more and more.
Yeah, you're right. So Grim, the final Rod and Pollux car, is currently in 10th place. He's going to get that final point for his team. I think he's on that 3-stop strategy as well, whilst Bagpuss and Platypus behind are still committing to that 2-stop because they're both still on those worn medium tyres, as you can see, and they've got about 4 laps of fuel left, so they may even put on a fresh set of soft boots towards the end of this race and see if they can go the distance then. That might be interesting, and they may be able to get both of them. They may be able to get back into the points, but Bagpuss is currently just over a minute behind the lead. Those medium tyres are not looking as strong as they probably would have expected. Castle is currently 2.5 behind BJ Robbo in that third Tag Her Phoenix Race Lab car as well. And just quickly looking at 5th place, it's Harley, who's the second driver for Rod and Pollux today, who's currently got a lot of clean air in front of him and a lot of clean air behind him as well.
Yeah, it's not looking too bad for Rod and Pollux here today. So, speaking on pit strategies, Robot, we've got Ash in P1, 2.5 seconds ahead, pulling away. Tay and Vilsek right behind each other. They're on that 3-stop. We're going to see them come in on lap 24 unless they do it now. Tay's coming in now.
Oh.
Tay's going to do it a lap early, and he's going to try the undercut.
Now, Vilsek will have to fuel 1 extra lap on his pit stop next lap, which means that Racer Tay could be in a good position here to perform that undercut. He's out of the pits already, and he's come out ahead of Harley, and he's in 4th place currently, only 5 seconds behind Iceman Kimmy. Let's just point that out as well. Iceman not in his usual race-winning position here today, but Ash, 3.8 seconds ahead of Vilsek right now, has got still about 3 laps until he needs to pit, and he's still putting in competitive times as well. well. His last lap was a 1:11.2, before that a 1:11.1, and before that a 1:11.3. Very consistent drive from him today.
Yeah, very, very consistent from Ash there. We like to see it from him. Vilsec, maybe Spinorama is trying to concrete the win here and taking two different strategies, the undercut and the overcut, just to make sure no matter what happens, they come out in front. That could be what they're trying to do here. Ash and the Rod and Pollock guys are going to have to be talking on the radio and seeing what they can do to prevent anything from happening, as he's still pulling away. He's almost 4 seconds ahead.
He is. I'm just watching the replay again from when Ash went off-road and joined back in third. I thought I caught the replay of the overtake, guys, but I didn't, so those who are requesting it, apologies for that. But anyway, we've got another battle going on right now. Is that 8th place? Yeah, look how close BJ Robbo is to Grim behind him. The gap is just 0.6 of a second right now. We could see a move from Grim that would, again, push that Rod and Pollock's fishing car up into 9th place. They're getting a lot of camera action today because they're racing so competitively.
Yeah, they are, Robot. And the undercut from Tay did work. Vilsec came in on lap 24. He came out 2.6 seconds behind Tay. If you remember, the gap was about less than a second when Tay came in, so the undercut did work for Racer Tay.
That's interesting, but if Racer Tay pitted on lap 23 and he's currently on soft tyres, can he take them 13 laps? I don't think so, because we know how much he wears his tyres. He's going to have to pit again.
That's a long way to go, Robot.
It's
and
so
with the wear that he's picking up, I don't know that he can do it unless he gets a big enough gap in front of Ash that he can take it easy on the last few laps.
Well, let's see. There's only 11 laps left. That means there's only about 12 minutes left of this race. 13 minutes left of this race, sorry. Let me think. I think Ash has won this race. I don't think Tay's going to be able to challenge him here. Now, Ash is currently 10 seconds. He's got a 10-second lead. Racer Tay is cutting that gap down by about a tenth every other corner, but I don't think that's enough. And once Ash pits and puts on that fresh rubber, Racer Tay's tyres are going to be about 20% worn because he likes to wear them so much, and Ash is just going to be able to pull away again. Vilsec, on the other hand, could challenge him if he can look after his tyres. But again, Ash has still got 2 laps left in his tyres and his fuel, which means that he's only going to need to go 8 laps on his softs. He's in a unique position right now. He's the only one on track right now, actually, who's in that position.
Yeah, and he's not going to need that much fuel when he comes in, so he's going to be coming out very, very quickly.
Well, might see a race win here for Rod and Pollux. The crowd will go wild if that happens. Leek has had a bit of a lonely race as well. He's currently in 7th place. He has pitted and he's not got any rear damage anymore. Castle has pitted too, but he's got a lot more wear on his tyres. Again, similar to Racer Tay compared to other drivers around him like Leekler. So Castle's going to be struggling towards the end of this race, and he will have to pit again because he's only got around 4 laps of fuel left.
Ash deciding not to come in on lap 27 when we think he may have wanted to come in, did not come in, is picking up a gap. I mean, the gap is now, it looks like 11, 12 seconds?
To Racer Tay, it's come down. It's only 8.6 seconds right now, but we need to stress that Ash is not going to need to make another stop. I reckon Racer Tay will, because again, looking at Racer Tay's fuel, he has enough fuel to get to the end of the race. But does he have enough tyres? They're already around 15 to 20% worn. Ash is going to pit, and he's going to come out just side by side with Vilsec. So this in-lap is crucial for Ash. He needs to not make a single mistake and hopefully gain a few tenths. He's currently 9 tenths down on his previous lap. This is important for Ash. Let's see how quick he comes into the pits here. Now
he's got to be coming in.
Yeah, he's coming around turn 9 now. This is it. Yep, he's moving to the left-hand side of the track. He's in the pits. So if you can keep an eye on Vilsec, we'll see where he comes out.
Vilsec coming into 8 now. He's in 9. Here he comes through the exit. About to pass the pit entry. Let's see what happens.
Racer Tay, they're both ahead. No, he's come out just behind Vilsec, sorry.
Oh no.
But let's not forget. Oh no, Vilsec does have enough fuel to get to the end, and Vilsec's tyres are only about 10% worn. It's gonna have to be done on track. Ash is gonna have to overtake on track.
Yeah, the gap is about 2.5 seconds. Ash did close that gap earlier in the first or second stint, so we'll have to see if he can do it again. We know he's got the setup, and we know he's got the fuel. We'll just have to see if he can do it again. The only question mark is Racer Tay.
Oh, this is going to be quite heartbreaking if Ash doesn't manage to get this win, because he does have the faster car today. We know that, but let's just quickly check out the gap to him in the race leader. So it's 7.1, it's 7.2, it's 7.3. He's losing time currently. It's now 7.4, 7.5. Maybe he's just getting heat into his tyres. It is still his outlap, let's not forget. So we will keep an eye on that gap as it goes just above 7.7 as he gets to the penultimate corner at turn 8. Really long right-hander here. But yeah, like I said, we will keep an eye on it. Only 8 laps to go. Once they cross
the other gap, Robot, Vilsec 2.9 behind. It was in the high 3s last lap go around, but Vilsec closing the gap fairly quickly here to Tay. I don't know if it's a tire issue or if Tay is just dropping off the pace.
It must be a tyre issue. So once again, if I just quickly switch between Racer Tay and Vilsec, he's got about double the wear. They're going to fall off in 4 laps time. That will bring us to lap 33. Then there's 3 laps left, and that is where Ash is going to... Ash's speed and consistency is going to pay off then. Right now, Ash just needs to try and keep him behind. But like I said, let's look at that gap. It's 7.4. He's managed to reduce it by 0.3, but is it enough? I don't know.
Yeah, no telling there, Robot. Here comes Yan. I think Yan just came out of the pits.
Let's quickly switch to him and see
right in front of Liga.
Ooh, we're going to see another battle at the end of this race now. It's a 5/10 gap between these two for 6th and 7th. So they're just going around turn 2 now, coming up to the quick left-hander at turn 3, followed by the quick right at turn 4. Through turn 3 they go, both of them sticking to the line, keeping it nice and tidy, a lot better than the start of the race. They go round to turn 4.
It doesn't look like Liga's got anything for him there, Robot.
No, he's actually just lost half a second as they went through those 3 corners there. So I think Liga's looking at a P7 here if he can keep Castle behind him, which he should be able to because Castle is quite the way back down the road. He's currently 40 seconds off the lead as well. That's saying something. Let's look at the gap. The gap's down to 7 seconds, so he's managed to gain another 0.4 on this lap. Ash needs to look after those tyres. You can hear them screeching a bit there, but he can take him if he can start to reduce that gap to 5 seconds come lap 32.
Still not a bad, disrespectful race for Ash here. If Ash can make this last, cross your fingers, no commentator curse, but even a top 3 for Ash here today. What a race from Ash. A little bit more aggressive we've seen out of the driver today. Not what you usually see, but we love seeing it. I mean, we love seeing the guy up there.
We do. Any Rod and Pollux driver separating the top runners or even finishing ahead of them is always great to see. We've got a lot of dust on the track right now. I'm not sure if someone went wide there. Vilsec has closed the gap down a little bit to Racer Tay. It's now 2.3. It was 2.7 last lap. We've got someone in the pits who's just coming out right now. He's going to come out ahead. Is that Iceman?
I believe it was BJ.
Oh, it was BJ. Okay, back marker. That's fair enough. Iceman currently trailing 6 seconds behind Ash Wilson. At the moment. So currently Ash is looking at a solid 15 points. Rod and Pollux fishing and points for the rest of his team as well, finishing in the top 10, so good job to them. Quickly just going to jump down. Let me see who that is all the way back there. Bagpuss is still in 11th and he's got fresh mediums on, so he will be going to the end of the race here. Platypus is currently in 12th with fresh softs on, so he'll be going to the end too. Let's just quickly check on 10th place. 10th place is BJ Robbo, who's now let the cars ahead go, apart from Ash, who's still behind him currently, and he will be losing time. BJ started to get blue flags, so he should be seeing those soon, and he should let Ash pass so it doesn't disrupt Ash's time. But Ash has got it down to 5.9 seconds. If he can get it another 9/10 below, he has a chance at winning this race come the end of the lap, but he's only got 2 corners left to bring it down 9/10. He's going to be struggling here. I think it's going to be a P2 more than a P1.
It's going to be exciting either way you go about it, Robot. I think it's going to be a very exciting into the race. I know Ash is going to give it everything. If he can see that car in front, he's going to do whatever he can to make this happen.
He's 5/10 off his time as he crossed the line on lap 31 there. He's struggling. I think he's losing a bit of time because of the disturbance of the air in front of him from the BJ Robbo ahead. I think BJ Robbo's still getting blue flags, but he hasn't moved out of the way yet. I just don't think Ash is close enough to be in striking distance right now, but let's just hope that's not disrupting Ash too much. Let's just quickly jump down to BJ Robbo and see. Yeah, he's still getting blue flags. I think we did have a rule where if you do get a blue flag, you need to move out of the way immediately. Right now, it doesn't look like he's doing that.
Yeah, I don't know if he just thinks that Ash is not close enough. But I'm with you, Robot. I mean, he needs to kind of let Ash play this out and not have any air in front of him at all.
Yeah, and his blue flag signal is just gone as well, as he just set a personal best middle sector.
And it's back.
Yeah, and now it's back again. He really needs to just get out of the way. He's not racing anyone right now, actually. He's got 10 seconds ahead of him and 18 behind him. He needs to just move and let Ash pass. Ash has got the gap down to 5.3.
Let's see what Ash is doing. Yeah, it's not messing him up too bad. He's going to catch him on this lap, I think, but you got to wonder, I mean, has the dirty air kind of slowed him down a little bit?
I think so. I don't think Ash is going to have enough right now to even get a P2 because of this car in front of him. He was closing Vilsack a lot quicker before he encountered this back marker who just came out of the pits in between. And there you go, he's let him past, let's see if he can now close him down. The gap's 5.1, 5.2, and it's coming down a little bit. Let's just wait another lap and see what it is. Could he get Vilsack? Yes. Could he get Racer? I doubt it now. I doubt it.
Yeah, it's not looking good. I don't know. Anything can happen here, though, Robot. I'm not counting him out.
Me neither. Now, we've got a car off the road currently. I think that might be the back marker of Platypus. Yes, it is. Platypus is actually having a pretty hard time in this division for the past few races. I reckon next season he'll probably be better suited in D2. But his determination and will to finish a race and still try to get points and things is absolutely amazing. He's never quit a race or anything like that. And it's the type of driver OFR needs. I reckon he'll be top 4 in D2 next season. But right now he's doing a good job in that back and calls anyway. He's got another back marker coming up behind him, so he's going to have to move out the way for him. And where's Bagpuss currently? In 11th place, slightly out of the points. He's got 19 seconds of a gap between him and BJ Roberts, so he's not going to be able to catch him. So I think that's all Buck and Cole's car out of the points today after a solid podium from Bagpuss last week as well. This must be a bit of a downer for him. But Racer is leading 2.6 seconds ahead. Vilsack is 2 seconds ahead of Ash Wilson right now. So Ash has closed him down. He's also closed the gap between him and Racer Tay as well. But it's still looking like it's going to be a Spinorama 1-2 unless Ash can do something on these final 2.5 laps.
Now, what does this do for points, Robot? We've got Spinorama 1-2 as it stands. Rod and Pollux P3, and then we've got Tag Hour in P4
and P5
and P5, and then the next car they've got is in P8. So Lika would beat the third car by 1 position, but the 1 and 2 is going to beat their top 2 by, it looks like, a 2-position gap.
Yeah, so since we've got 2 drivers ahead of 2 and 1 ahead of 1 for Spinorama, they're going to extend their gap by around 20-something points. That's heartbreaking for Tag Heuer Phoenix Race Lab, and a big sigh of relief for Spinorama right now, saying one of their drivers is currently in P7. It's a tricky track for Lika, but he needs those points for his team, and he's still in the race, which is great to see. A big win for Spinorama today, very big win.
Yeah, let's take a look at the gap again, Robot, as the guys are coming out of turn 5. It looks like Ash is kind of leveled off here. He's met a plateau where the gap is at about 2.1. It's not really changing a lot now. Vilsack is catching up to Tay a little bit, so the gap is down to 4.3 for Ash as opposed to Racer Tay, but I don't know. Here they come.
So they're just about to cross the line to start the final lap. Take a quick peek at Racer Tay's tyres. He's on about 60-70% on that front left. And he's just got flashing fuel, so he's going to make it to the end. But are his tyres going to last, or is he going to spin? Let's see. He needs to avoid lighting up those rears at all costs coming out of the slow corners, because if he lights them up, he's going to spin. It is the final lap, though, and he's only got a 1.9 second lead against Vilsack. Ash Wilson currently in 3rd place. He's only got 2.1 seconds ahead, so it's looking like P3 for Ash. Now, there was a little bit of an incident in this race, remember, where Racer Tay may have pushed Ash wide at turn 1. If that is the case, we could see a grid place penalty for Racer Tay, and that could help bump Ash up. But we're going to wait to see what happens with the stewards reports, but right now it's looking like a P3 for Ash. Still, a really consistent drive, and to be racing wheel to wheel with the fastest guys, Racer Tay and Vilsack, almost the entire part of this race, is great for him as well, and a great achievement for the new setup for Rod and Pollux Fishing too. Now, we've got Racer Tay only a second ahead of Vilsack right now, so Vilsack has closed him down a little bit. He's just coming up to the final corner at turn 9. He's braking for the final corner. He's got it turned around, and he's going to get back on the throttle. He's led the last part of this race. He's had a big battle in the middle of this race between his teammate and Ash, but he's going to cross the line again. Another win for Racer 36 laps later. First place, second place for Vilsec, and third place for the Rod and Pollux Fishing Ash Wilson. Well done. Iceman Kimmy is going to be next as he crosses the line for Takur Phoenix Race Lab in P4. Jan is going to finish in P5. A nice finish for him again, picking up 10 much needed points for his team. Well done, Jan. He's actually quite far behind, actually. I just realised he's just going through turn 8 and 9, so he's got 2 long corners left before he crosses the line. Someone will cross the line ahead of him. I think it might be Bagpush. Yes, it is Bagpush. He's going to finish in P11 here today. Tough race, but nice that he's finished. Well done.
Oh, somebody's
Bagpush.
run. Is that Jan? Jan's off!
Oh, no.
Jan's off in the last turn. He's in 9!
Oh, no. Harley's passed him. Harley, Rod and Pollux Fishing and picked up P5. Wow. And Leeka's jumped him too. Leeka's gone past Jan.
What on earth has happened here?
I'm going to quickly watch the... I'll definitely watch the replay once he crosses the line. Let's just see it now quickly. So he's coming up through turn 9. He gets a wheel on the... He gets his right-left wheel on the right-hand side of the track and he spins. Last corner, last lap.
Was he in front of Leeka there? Somebody else is off.
Yeah, he was in 5th place. He was in 5th place. And he's crossed the line in 7th now.
So he actually got past Leeka there at the end and then went off the track and Leeka got it back. Harley up there in P5. What a day for Rod and Pollux.
Yeah, what a day. Amazing race too, and another great victory for Racer Tay, and another solid podium for Ash as well. Vilsec, nice to have you back, and a great P2, really helping Spinorama out there, and I can see why they wanted you so much at the start of this season. But that's the race over, and that's it. So we've got the D2 race starting in 20 minutes time. Please make sure you tune in for that. Anything else there, Havoc?
No, just congrats to Ash. Built big confidence booster, huge confidence booster. I hope he comes back next week, has the same amount of confidence, better setup, and fights for that P1.
Absolutely. So guys, thanks for tuning in. We're going to be streaming on Twitch, where we've got, I think, Ash, Mick, and Leeka in the commentary box for that. So yeah, make sure you tune in. Both Havoc and I are going to be racing there, so should be good. Thanks, guys.